Tim Galungian and Jerry Savoie bump knuckles on the starting line. The rider and his crew chief. The essential relationship for anybody to succeed in this category, the essential relationship for anybody to succeed in any sport. It is the coach and the player. It is the plan and the folks that have to execute the plan. Both riders making their way towards the starting line. So Jerry Savoie will be on the left-hand side of the racetrack. Andrew Hines the right. Savoie had lane choice on that, so he picked that E3 spark plug side. Hines on the Lucas Oil side. We very rarely talk about a rider like Andrew Hines being at some sort of performance disadvantage, but make no mistake about it, the White Alligator Racing bike is the class of the field right now.
You know, and they've been in this situation not very often, but it does seem, and call it a coincidence or just some good tuning, but they do seem to find their performance. Now, the question is, are they going to be able to find enough? And the other thing you have to factor in is Jerry, at least the last couple of rounds, has been very good on the starting line, and hopefully for his sake, he has saved one more, has one more in the tank.
Hines, a historian, a tactician, a statistician, loves every aspect of the sport of drag racing and understands the depth and meaning of the U.S. Nationals. Here we go. It's the final round. The red light triggered on the starting line. Apparently the bike made a move to the back as Jerry Savoie goes down with a wind light on. 6.851 seconds at 195 miles per hour. And Andrew Hines will get no elapsed time. He has shown the foul light in a bizarre final here in the Pro Stock motorcycle category. For the second time in his career, Jerry Savoie is a U.S. Nationals champion, and he picked up his last win over a year ago at the 4-wide Nationals race, a wild ending to Pro Stock motorcycle.
Look, take nothing away from Jerry Savoie, but we're going to show this to you again. Something happens in the right lane, the lane that Andrew Hines was in. I don't know if he didn't stage properly or if he overstaged, or occasionally these bikes can rock. So let's take a look on the right-hand side as he rolls in. He's already staged. Now Jerry rolls into stage. Now there's a red light, and that's going to be questioned because earlier in the week there was some issues with that in regard to the staging. I don't see any movement there from the bike that could have caused that.
I think he moved backwards. I think he rolls backwards.
Wow.
And you know, here's why you're planting your feet, and then you go to squat for the acceleration, and you can flatten out, roll your back.
A man's at the top end.
Well, hold on, guys. There's a very emotional Jerry Savoie at the top end. Jerry, you came into this race not even sure if you were going to make the countdown. You're now holding the Wally of the U.S. Nationals. Could you imagine a more perfect ending?
No, I mean, when I pulled up, like, oh my God, I can't believe that this could possibly happen at my age. I mean, people don't understand why you cry. But at my age, my time is coming. And we all know that. I got a great group of guys. Tim, Rick, everybody, Freddie, GT Tomlin. Without these guys, it wouldn't have been possible this weekend. Vance and Hines, they working on some stuff with us, and it paid off. I want to say hi to my mom, because I never tell her I love her. I love you, Mom. I love you, Bonnie.
The weight of the moment certainly not lost on any of us, certainly not that man, as Erica Enders and Alex Laughlin pull into the staging beams. This is the first final round for Erica and Alex Laughlin of any point, not just at the U.S. Nationals, ever in their career. Enders looking to win Indy for the second time. Laughlin looking to win the first race this season. He has lost 3 final rounds of the 2019 Tour so far. Erica, just 2 weeks ago, was next to Jason Line and Brainerd. She came up short. She does not want to have that happen again. This car that has been so good, this driver that is one of the best that has ever strapped into a Pro Stock automobile, trying to rise to the occasion one last time at the end of this vicious and grueling drag race. Erica will be second to stage. Pro Stock final round, in and gone. A 007 reaction time for Erica Enders. Signed, sealed, delivered. It's your... Oh, she got outrun! You have got to be kidding me! Alex Laughlin, 120 reaction time. She was quicker to 60 feet. Laughlin was slower all the way through, and again, it's an engine problem, apparently, that got Erica Enders. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I can tell you she was on her way up until 300 feet. Now, I don't know if it's a coincidence, but that's in between a couple of shifts. But that's where she really started to fall behind. But then she gathers it up. Maybe she shifted too soon, but there was a little flicker on the starting line that distracted Allen. Right now, rather Alex Laughlin, and pray to whoever it is you're going to pray to, because you did get a break, because Erica Enders had an issue. They gathered it back up. She was chasing him down, ran 206 miles an hour, but the problem occurred early in the run, about 300-400 feet.
Alex Laughlin, the 25th different Pro Stock winner since Herb McCandless did it first in 1970.
That was a big stumble there. That was 100 feet out. Watch how hard the car, it's accelerating and just bam.
Shocking.
We won the U.S. Nationals, baby!
Oh, that is crushing. This is what drag racing does. It can stop you emotionally dead in your tracks, just like it did here for Erica. Alex Laughlin is at the top end with Amanda Busick.
Alex, you already told us today how special it would be to be a U.S. Nationals winner. Well, you are a U.S. Nationals winner. How does that sound?
I just almost can't even talk, you know. I love you, E. I don't know what the details were, but I saw one light. I looked over, and I could see her, but I could see that we were pulling on her. And, man, it's been a long time since we've won one of these, and I almost forgot what it feels like, but this is a great refresher. I think we're going into the countdown in the lead. I think we are. So, gosh, thank you to Haviland. They've stood beside me since 2015, this was my second race of my career. In 2015, they've been with me the whole way, and man, they brought me out here, and my team, it's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable.
Bruno Massel, you have information about what happened out there, because this is a shocker.
Yeah, for every great story, there's also somebody on the other side of that great story. And the one downside for Erica Enders, obviously had a 10th at the starting line. Spoke with Richard Freeman, team owner, a moment ago when he told me that when she went to make the 2-3 shift, it actually missed the shift, popped out of gear. She had to go to the next gear. It was the only thing she could do. That's why the car slowed. That's why she didn't get her victory here today.
We're going to listen to it now so you can hear exactly what happened out there. What you didn't hear was her missing a shift. You didn't hear that thing run into the reveler. You saw her move the handle just as the shift light was coming on. It was a mechanical failure that doomed what seemed to be an outcome written in the stars for Erica Enders this weekend. Congratulations to Alex Laughlin. That was just wild. A Pro Stock winner at a U.S. Nationals final with a 1:20 reaction time. I wouldn't take that bet.
Doesn't happen often. He did leave the cordless drill back into pit. He said he was going to drill her. He didn't do that, but he does have the trophy.
Yeah, he brought a box of wood screws. She showed up with a welder.
But that just shows how good these drivers are. The shift breaks. She pulls it together anyways. I mean, quality driver.
You can see Erica taking some time, and it's just, what do you have to do around here? You know, it's just a moment when you think you got it together, and she's had a season of these disappointments in terms of her run against Greg Anderson in Seattle. This moment here. But the good thing for her is the fact that the car is so good and that she's so good, and you can see the emotion wash over Erica at the top end. So now we take a look at our countdown points chase, and Alex Laughlin by only 20 points will remain in the number 2 spot. Did not get it done. Bo Butner goes into the countdown as the number 1 seed, but Alex Laughlin is breathing directly down his neck, and when all the points are totaled, it's basically 2 numbers that kept Alex Laughlin from being in that number 1 spot.
Well, this is going to be a battle. You can see the talent really within the top 8 drivers. Not to discredit Chris McGahey, he's a little inconsistent. You can see Val accomplishing something that he never realized he could do, making that countdown. But there is a legitimate battle from a lot of talented drivers that'll be battling out for that championship.
The Nitro Funny Car final round sits at the water box. John Force and Jack Beckman will throw down. For Jack Beckman, he's looking to win his first race in over a year. The last race was Brainerd. 1 year and 1 race to go. Trying to score his 29th career victory. Trying to do things that every great Nitro Funny Car driver tries to do. But for John Force, continuing to try to plow through history.
Man, you know, this is it. This is the final round. 2 big hitters. Unbelievable.
And they're on a mission.
The last time John Force Racing won the U.S. Nationals in any capacity was 2013.
They may be having some problems under the hood of John Force's car, and maybe not at this point. When they take that body pull off, that means they're ready for action.
Both cars are cackling away. Both cars are running. The 150th win saw John Force flop his way over a chain link fence. What will the 151st bring with his whole family with him this weekend? In a strange twist, one we wouldn't expect out of these two drivers, it's the first time that this man, John Force, will face off against Jack Beckman for any reason at the U.S. Nationals. They've never competed even in a first round at this race, let alone a final.
Well, both these guys have a lot of experience and a lot of rounds, and that's quite the surprise.
Denver 2015 was the last time these guys saw each other in the fourth round of any drag race, let alone the most important one on earth. And Tony Pedregon, not to put you on the spot here, but where's your $5 going to lie on this one?
Well, it's going to be with John Force because they have less adjustments to make coming into this. And Jack Beckman, he made it to the final round. However, his car lost traction at about 600 to 700 feet. So that means they do have to make some adjustments. But again, I'm going back to that first round performance for John. It was considerably cooler then. It isn't not. It isn't now. It's heated up quite a bit. But they've had the better car. And Jack Beckman, for him to be a legitimate contender, it would be nice if they win a race. And, well, who wouldn't want to win this one going into the countdown?
That's a fact. Jack Beckman is a student of the history of the sport. He spends a lot of time with the legends that helped build NHRA drag racing. He wants to continue to join them and follow in their path. The U.S. Nationals Nitro Funny Car final round sits at 3 stages. Both drivers are waiting this one out. Force goes in first. There goes Beckman. They leave within 7 thousandths. They go to the 8th mile on the finish line. Goodbye, Snake, and hello, Ace. John Force has tied Eddie Ace McCulloch with 5 wins at the U.S. Nationals as he picks up his 151st career victory. Improbable, incredible, unstoppable, you name it, this guy can do it.
Well, John Force, he yielded to Jack Beckman on the starting line. All the drivers know John would prefer to stage second. He's made that well known, no secret. It's just his preference. And some drivers, they don't really want to roll in there. They don't want to submit to John. John hauled off, said, okay, I'll give you the courtesy. I'll roll in and stage. Got off the starting line. Second, Jack Beckman, the slightest starting line, but it was starting line advantage. But it was all performance at John Force. 391 in the heat, pretty impressive.
Our Evans crew chief confidential with Bruno Massel at the starting line.
Well, Brian Karate, I think the whole drag racing community knew it was just a matter of time before this team got on a roll. Seattle, the 150, now Indy. This thing's really ramping up to the countdown.
Yeah, you know, I've been telling the guys, I says, I think we got something here. All we got to do is apply it. And you know what? John, gotta love him. You know, he does a hell of a job behind the wheel of that car. Hats off to all the boys at JFR. They all help. So, love you all. All the glory goes to God.
Congratulations.
And depending on what John Force decides to do here at the top end, this thing may look like a Charlie Chaplin movie. After what we saw happen after the 150th win. Remember, John Force, this is the longest gap between any race that he's won. 2002 was the last time he won the U.S. Nationals. It's been 17 years. Last time it was Jamie Howe at the top end. Now it's going to be Amanda Busick, and I will give you the same advice, Amanda. Duck cover and good luck.
I'm going to die any second. Get me a doctor. Get that off me, would you? Please.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Congratulations.
John.
The oldest guy to ever win it. That goes to show you. Get off that couch. Get alive. Don't let anybody tell you that you're already dead. I was dead 20 years ago, and I'm alive. Where'd that car go?
John, you picked up your 150th Wally this season. You win the U.S. Nationals. What's next for John Force?
I need a vacation. I need to start drinking again. I forgot how. But let me tell you something. Brian Karate, we have our issues. My guy, Daniel Hood, I love him. My daughter's husband. Fabrizi lived with me in this car. Then Perdome yelled for me, trying to force and Coyle and Bernie like, you're not washed up. You telling us we're all dead? No, you're making us alive. And that's what I'm doing. We're alive. Hey, I want to thank Chevrolet Performance. You guys just signed me Campbell gave me a 3-year contract. I won't live 3 years, Campbell, so it don't matter. But what I want to tell you is, Pete, Old World, Herbis, you gave me a job, and all these other sponsors, CarQuest, Advanced Auto Parts, I know. It goes on and on. But what I got to say is, Montana brand, I need your help to keep this young kid. He's really good in Auto Club. You know how much I love you. We done it. We won Indy at 70. And beat the ball. Congratulations, John.
And Jack Beckman, the sportsman that he is, throwing his arms around John Force.
Man, that, you know, watching the way the starting line, that was both of them. Both of them were professionals, right? Force likes to go in second, but he knew that if any more time, and that clutch was heating up, he waited as long as he could, but experience put him in the staging beam. He had to go. He did what was right. The car made it down the track. Congratulations to the greatest driver of this sport.
Geico makes it easy to get help when I need it. With licensed agents available 24/7, it's not just easy. It's having Jerome.
And the final pair of Mellow Yellow Series cars.
This, my friends, is the last chance to make the playoffs.
Final pair of Mellow Yellow Series cars to run at the U.S. Nationals will be Doug Coletta and Billy Torrance. Sportsman racing will continue long into the evening here at Lucas Oil Raceway, Indianapolis. But for these two men, their day, their race, their weekend ends now. For Doug Coletta or Billy Torrance, either one will become the 30th different Top Fuel winner in the history of this race. The man who's won many more of them than anybody else tells us what that means.
Well, this is a big race, man. You know, and I respect what Billy Torrance has done, and I've battled with Doug Coletta in the most epic battles in history. But I would like to see Doug win. I think he's paid an incredible amount of dues. He's been on the losing end of some epic battles, and, you know, as a great competitor. Now, whoever wins, you're the champ. I'm behind you, and I love you both, but let's see a good drag race. You know who should win here? The fans.
The fans have won already. What a spectacular week of competition we have seen. Days and nights of qualifying. Incredible elimination rounds today as Doug Coletta pre-stages. The tension, you could cut it with a chainsaw. Here we go. Doug Coletta's out first, trailing smoke. Both cars coasting to the finish line. It's Doug Coletta. For the first time in his career, Doug Coletta wins 4:14 at 212 miles an hour. The elation of that man, Connie Coletta, who won this race in 1994, who first raced at this race 60 years ago. Unbelievable. The most mind-boggling, astonishing way that Doug Coletta could ever win this race. He just did, and Bruno Massel, you're in the thick of it.
Very hard to believe that Troy Fashing was the first tuner to put Doug Coletta, well, on the stand holding a Wally here at Indy. One of the best drivers to never win Indy. And Troy, you got the job done. Congratulations.
Well, Rob Flynn and I got the job done. Doug's been busting his ass out here for 20 years trying to get a victory at Indy. We came close last year, and we came here to win. I mean, that's why we're here, and I want to dedicate this to Doug Coletta. I mean, he's given 20 years of his life to doing this every weekend, you know, away from his business and family, and that means a lot to all of us. I also like to dedicate this win to Tom Schlar. Yeah, he's going to be missed out here. He's a great guy.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Is this going to propel that man, Doug Coletta, to a championship this year?
Well, there's no question about that. For starters, that's a classy move to dedicate it to those people. But who would have thought that it ends like this for Doug, or rather, maybe it starts like this for Doug Coletta. Both of them very good off the starting line. Doug pulled ahead by a little bit, by 330 feet. He started to pull away even more, and then both of them started to lose traction. And when that happens, nobody is smoother, or few are smoother and better than Doug Coletta. Watch when the white smoke appears, he's off the throttle on it. So is Billy Torrance. The problem was probably a small backfire for each of the cars, and they're probably instinctively pushing the clutch in. That's not going to do you any good. But both of these cars, amazing that they coasted to the finish line, and it was that momentum from Doug getting off the throttle and back in it, then the car shutting off, that got him to the finish line first.
The loudest race cars on earth, the Top Fuel final decided by the noise of a hummingbird down there. The crew engaging in their typical dogpile at the starting line, the entire Coletta Motorsports operation. Doug Coletta, your U.S. Nationals Top Fuel winner, is with Amanda Busick. Incredible.
No. Well, Doug Coletta's going to put his glasses on to see this moment. You're holding the U.S. Nationals Wally finally. And, Doug, I'm sure there was a bit of panic there for you, but why was this moment so worth the wait?
Yeah, you know, it's just the history and, you know, with my family and everything kind of was it took for him to win this thing. You know, it's just awesome. So just can't say enough for all the support we've gotten this weekend. You know, the fans have been awesome here. Mellow Yellow, Mac Tools Distributors, you know, the list just goes on and on. So we'll celebrate this one for sure.
Congratulations, Doug.
Thank you very much.
Incredible. Incredible. Congratulations to that crew. What an end to this race. Holy cow. Coasting to the finish line stripe as we look at the top fuel standings after 24 races. The importance of this win, not only just for the trophy, but that number 2 seed, Tony.
Well, absolutely. And the momentum. Look, he's not going to catch Steve Torrence when he's 600 points ahead, but now he's not. It's all gone, and that's the way that, and I know that Steve Torrence hates this whole format. I know that's affected him in the past, but those are the rules. That's how the game is played. Coletta, had he come into this race this way, he'd be leading by 80 points or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So it's a big swipe of points, man. There's a reason the last 6 races come down to ice cold, cutthroat, mellow yellow drag racing, man. It's going to be brutal.
So let's check out some highlights from John Force's run, as we did not see them earlier because of all the, the old John Force-ness that was going on out there. Let's take a look, Tony.
Well, have mercy on all of us. If he finds a couple of fences, he's going to jump after this. But this starting line came after a little bit of a staging battle. And, of course, John Force went in first. He was second out of the gate. This was a little closer at the finish line for Jack Beckman's efforts. But they just didn't have lane choice all day. They were still stuck in that right lane. They didn't seem to have any issue with it. But to be honest with you, it was the power of John Force, a Chevrolet race, putting a Chevy Camaro in the winner's circle. And based on this right here, this tells the story, John Force by a half a car length.
A half a car length at the finish line stripe.
And I'm telling you, what won that race was his knowledge to go in. As much as he wanted to wait, he went in and didn't let that clutch heat up. He won the race through just brilliance.
Brilliance, experience, guts, and glory is what that man's career has been built on and continues to be stacked brick by brick on top of itself. The funny car standings after 18 of 24 races, the points have been reset, and Robert Height is being chased and chased heartily by an old man named John Force, only 20 points behind him. Tim Wilkerson, the number 10 finisher, will be the last and final racer who qualified to run for a Mellow Yellow Funny Car World Championship. It has been an incredible weekend. 4 winners of the Mellow Yellow Series hoist their Wallies in the Sunoco winner's circle at the top end. A deserving group. The first 2 finalists on the right side, of course, Alex Laughlin, that incredible run against Erica Enders. Jerry Savoy, the wild final round against Andrew Hines with the foul on the starting line. And then John Force and Doug Coletta. Let's take a look at our Pro Stock motorcycle settings, or rather our standings with the points reset. Eddie Krawick and Andrew Hines on top. Hector Arana down the bottom. A kid, Ryan Ayler, right there in the 7th spot. Keep an eye on him with a bullet. He is a driven, motivated young man.
Yeah, and Jerry Savoy, who is on that podium for the first time this year, I've got a feeling he's going to make him up some ground.
It has been an incredible weekend, as it always is at the U.S. Nationals. The only shameful thing about this drag race is that it has to come to an end. Thank you so much to Tony Schumacher for spending time with us in the booth this weekend. Thank you to Louis Bloom, Tony Pedregon, Bruno Massel, Amanda Busick, and Jamie Howe, who's been reporting from the pits all day long. And thank you to you, NHRA drag racing fans. We gave you a heck of a show today. Come back and see us at Maple Grove in just 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.